Welcome back to the Jank Factory, everybody. I'm back with some more Theros Beyond Death spoilers, and I feel like we've gotten quite a few since the last time I was on here taking a look. The last card we looked at had just been released on MTG Salvation, and it was cleaned to dust. So we're going to move up the list here and move on into all the newer things. First up is Nadir Kraken. I love that artwork. 3 mana, 2 blue, 1 of any color, 2/3 Kraken. Whenever you draw a card, you may pay 1. If you do, put a 1/1 counter on Nadir Kraken and create a 1/1 blue tentacle creature token. Oh, okay. I will honestly put it this way right now. I love this card. This is the kind of card that I've always liked when it comes to any kind of Kraken or your Lore Scale Coatls, where drawing cards get counters put onto them, and then you have that octopus from one of the core sets a while back, where whenever it died, you would get a 1/1 squid or whatever for each counter that was on it. I always love getting a card like that in some sort of set. I always end up playing it a good bit. I love that artwork with the extension of the frame. It looks a lot cooler blowing up and spread out on the frame like that. I'll definitely be trying to get myself a few of those. Next up's Escape Velocity. 1 red mana, enchanted creature gets +1/+0 and haste, and you can escape velocity for colorless red, exile 2 other cards from your graveyard. Not even death can catch me now. That's cute. I can see that being beneficial to some decks that really are going to rely on a creature with trample that needs a bit of a power boost and some haste, so that's pretty cool. Ephemia the Cacophony is not clickable, so let's see what TCG player has. Ephemia the Cacophony. Let's just try Ephemia then. Ooh, still nothing. Well, I am curious now who this Ephemia is. Huh, it would help if I spelled it right, huh? Alright, so we have a 2 mana legendary enchantment creature, Harpy. So I guess everyone that really wants to play a Harpy deck has a commander now? Flying 2/1 for 2 mana. At the beginning of your end step, you may exile an enchantment card from your graveyard, and if you do, create a 2/2 black zombie token. That's pretty cool. It's a decent rate and everything for the flying body and all that too, 2/1, with that kind of ability to just generate extra tokens. So that's not bad. It's not bad at all. Pretty cool. Inspire Fear. There we go. 4 mana instant Fog. Except for enchanted creatures and enchantment creatures with Scry 2 attached to it. I don't think that's gonna get used a whole lot. I could be wrong, but 4 mana for a Fog effect, even if it allows you to attack through with your own creatures, and Scry just doesn't seem worth it in a world that has questing beasts coming in and nullifying this card's ability to prevent damage anyway. So I don't think that we're going to be seeing that too often. At least when you had Moon Mist, it was transform all human werewolf creatures, or flip them, and prevent combat damage except for done by wolves and werewolves, and that was just 2 mana. It's so much better. I don't think Scry 2 was worth the extra 2 personally. Banishing Light is back. That's a great enchantment. Another solid 3 mana exile effect. It doesn't have the scry like Prison Realm, but it's not conditional like Prison Realm. And it is 1 mana less than the Convoke one, but then again, you can Convoke it out effectively for free too. So Banishing Light will see play in some decks, I'm sure. Commune with the Stars. 4 mana, enchantment, aura, enchant creature, or enchantment. Enchanted permanent loop becomes an enchantment and loses all other card types. Okay, it's cute. I love the flavor text from Crewfix. He's my favorite god from Theros. Take your place among the stars. I guess that's one way to prevent a creature from attacking. Or I guess you could enchant an aura with that, and once it loses the aura ability, it would detach from whatever creature it's attached to, potentially. I'm not really sure. This may just be me not knowing the interaction between changing permanent types to enchantment and losing all the card types. It's an interaction I've never really seen before, I don't think. So we'll see. That's interesting, though. Next up is Devourer of Memory. Ooh, a 2-mana Nightmare. Blue-black, 2/1. Whenever one or more cards are put into your graveyard from your library, Devourer of Memory gets 1/1 until end of turn and can't be blocked this turn. And you can mill you for 3. Huh. Okay. That's pretty cool. I'm sure that's going to be a enabler for something. Heliod the Third, or Second. 3 mana, 5/5. Legendary enchantment creature, God. Also, legendary enchantment creature, God, asshole. Indestructible for as long as your devotion to white is less than 5. Heliod isn't a creature. Whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on target creature or enchantment you control. Okay. And then for 2 mana, another target creature gains lifelink until end of turn. All I'm going to say is I'm glad I don't play Pioneer. Balking Ballista, Triskelion. Who knows what other ridiculous cards would benefit from something like this, where you could just go off and just infinite kill someone. Heliod. Come on. It is what it is. We'll have to deal with it. Idyllic Tutor, 3 mana, reprint of Awesome. Sorcery, search your library for an enchantment card, reveal it, and put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. That full art's going to be a pretty expensive full art card to get to. I like that they have it at just rare, so it's not going to be hard to get your hands on early on, and it's a staple for Commander, and it will be for Brawl if anybody actually still plays Brawl. Let's see what's next. Atris, Oracle of Half-Truths. 2 colors, a blue and a black for a 3/2 legendary creature, Human Advisor with Menace. Rarity is rare. When Atris, Oracle of Half-Truths enters the battlefield, target opponent looks at the top 3 cards of your library and separates them into a face-down pile and a face-up pile. Put 1 pile into your hand and the other into your graveyard. I really like that card. It's like sort of a mini Fact or Fiction attached to a 3/2 Menace. That's not bad at all. And you know, I mean, they're going to take the top 3 and put them into 2 piles. You'll see 1 face-up pile, and you'll not know what's in the face-down pile. I wouldn't guess that this will be intuitive for your opponent in the beginning when it's first released, so we'll see how this little mini game works as we get moving on. It's a full art version. It's very similar to the Kraken, where it just gets a little bit bigger, but the detail isn't as awesome as the Kraken was. That's just incredible. Towering Wave Mystic. 2 mana for a 2/1 Merfolk Wizard. I'm listening, I love Merfolk. Whenever Towering Wave Mystic deals damage, target player puts that many cards from the top of their library into their graveyard. Thassa's favor followed him to the underworld. Even the waves of Nerona obeyed his will. That's an interesting card. I'll be even more surprised if we see a Lord of some sort pop up in here. Granted, Lord of Atlantis would fit the Greco-Roman theme really well, and that'd be pretty sweet to see Lord of Atlantis get reprinted in the modern card frame where you can get it easily. Although I prefer the old school versions myself anyway. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, if you're not up against the graveyard-based deck, you have an aggressive body that's going to swing in there and mill them for at least 2 a turn whenever it does combat damage to them. So you throw on that white-blue enchantment that gives it extra power and makes it unblockable, and you're in some serious business. I like it. Mire Triton. Here we go, another Merfolk. Ooh, a black one. A zombie Merfolk. 2/1 with Death Touch, another aggressively statted 2-drop. When it enters the battlefield, put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard and gain 2 life. That's actually quite nice. If you're trying to use your graveyard for anything whatsoever, and you can drop a 2-drop that has Death Touch that can just protect you from almost anything. That's pretty good. Birth of Meletus. It's a saga. 2 mana enchantment saga. Lore counter 1. Search your library for basic land, put it in your hand, and shuffle your library. Man, these sagas are really blending the color pie quite a bit. 2. Create a 0/4 defender artifact creature token, which does make sense. And then 3, gain 2 life. That makes sense as well. That first one is just more of a green ability, but they are blending them. Alright. Heard tell of Ashiok's Erasure from way back, and I thought it was a joke. Let's see. 4 mana, enchantment, flash in blue, and it enters the battlefield, exile target spell. Your opponents cast cards with the same name as the exiled spell. When Ashiok's Erasure leaves the battlefield, return the exiled card to its owner's hand. So that wasn't a joke, was it? This is a real card. It gets past uncounterable. It effectively detention spheres the spell, or whatever spell colors it, I guess. And it's a permanent, it's an enchantment, and it's flash. Oh my. And then they still have to recast it even if they destroy the enchantment from their hand, because it goes back to their hand instead of back onto the stack. So that's going to be a staple in many of my decks, I think. I love it. Setessan Priest, you're not helping me out, man. Alright guys, so I had to take a second to find Setessan Priest. It is not under Setessan Priest on Scryfall. It's under Mary Gary. It is not under Mary Gary on DTG Player, obviously, because it's just a joke name. But I was able to find it over here, and that calls it Setessan Priest here. So, what Mary Gary does is you gain life equal to your devotion to green. I guess they call her Mary Gary because she's the green version of Gary at a much lower mana cost. Well, moving back into the groove here, Glimpse of Freedom. 2 mana, blue, instant, draw a card, escape. 3 mana, exile 5 other cards from your graveyard to draw a card again. It's very similar to Think Twice, so it'll see play for sure. Sweet Oblivion. 2 mana sorcery. Target player puts the top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard, and for 4 mana, and exiling 4 cards, you can escape. So another mill card. Dalikos, Crafter of Wonders. 1 Indizit colors for legendary creature Merfolk Artificer. 2/4 for 3s. That's a good body. Tap to add colorless. Spend this mana only to cast artifact spells or activate abilities of artifacts. Equip creatures you control have flying and haste. That's pretty cool. If equipment ends up being better, or if people start splashing blue in more Embercleave decks, then that would be really terrifying, actually. Now we've got Reverent Hoplite, 5 mana human soldier, 1/2. When it enters the battlefield, create a number of 1/1 white human soldier tokens equal to your devotion to white. So 5 mana that at worst is a 5 mana 1/2 and a 1/1. At best, the upside. There's plenty of triple white with like the Cavalier and everything. So I don't know, it could be bigger. Chainweb Arachneer. A 1 mana 1/2 reach. Okay, that's probably going to be phenomenal in limited, especially. The ETBs, it'll damage equal to its power to target creature with flying and opponent control. So it comes with a Crawl Harpooner ability as well. Then it can escape for 5 and exiling 4 other cards. Come back as a 4/5 that deals 4 damage to a flyer, so that's pretty good. And it survives a 4/4, just like the 1-drop version of it survives a 1/1. That's pretty sweet. I like that card. It's definitely a house in limited, I think. Let's see if there's anything else. Hey, we got a few more. Nessian Boar, 5 mana, all creatures able to block, so it has lore. When a bird becomes blocked by a creature, that creature controller draws a card, and it's a 10/6. Youch. 5 mana 10/6 with lore. Yeah, slap trample on that guy, and you're in for some serious business. The fact that it makes your opponent draw a bunch of cards, that's interesting. I never like giving my opponents cards, but if you're coming in with an Embercleave and trample on it, you're most likely going to win on the spot, so I guess that's not too bad. Farrakis Spawn, so our Gorgon Lady is back. 4 mana 3/4. And then it has escape for 6 and exiling 3 other cards, and it escapes with 2/1 counters on it, making it a 5/6. Enters the battlefield this way, each opponent sacrifices a non-Gorgon creature. That's good for limited. Definitely good for limited. I don't see it getting much play in standard though. Rebirth for Glory. Ooh, a modal spell. 5 mana sorcery, black and white, 3 colorless. Choose 1 or both. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Return target aura card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Ah, that's a non-flash or non-flashbackable Unburial Rites, I guess, that can bring back an aura, and there are some silly auras in Magic. Not necessarily from what I've seen with this set, but so far we haven't seen but half the cards, less than half the cards. So, I mean, it's still a 5 mana reanimation spell, so it'll see play somewhere, probably. That was 12 minutes ago. What about now? Alright, looks like that is it for tonight, folks. I hope you guys enjoy. I just love the name of this. I just wish it wasn't a mill card. Out of what I saw tonight, I really like the Towering Wave Mystic. I really like the Atris and the Nader Kraken, and everybody likes Idyllic Tutor. Out of the cards that I've seen tonight, the one that I regret seeing the most is Heliod, because that's just going to be nonsense. But it is what it is, folks. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. If you need to pre-order anything or get anything for your current standard sets, hop over to tcgplayer.com using my link in my description and check out what they got going on. They've even got some cool deals going on here, like the foil full art Circle of Loyalty right there for $28.31. That's not bad. And the Enlightened Tutor here. But yeah, that's it. Happy magicking. I'll see you next time.